minestrone soup. So name remains the same, but the experiences can never be the same. Come to this conclusion once and for all. But what do we want? We want to extend the past wonderful, beautiful, blissful experience and pull it into the future, or not pull it into the present. And if we are having a nice, beautiful experience right now, we don't want to let go of it, because why? We want to take it with us into the future, which is also not possible. This is the first point. So, and the second point about this is, once you have understood that the world is constantly changing, don't get attached to anything in life. This world is, this constant change that is taking place in the world is only because of the pairs of opposites. If the moment you create I like him and I don't like her, immediately we have fueled the world. We are given power to it. But if we can remain constant, meaning we can remain undisturbed in spite of all the differences, then we have become the master of this world. The only way to become the master is not be disturbed by the world. Initial stages, how do you know that you are becoming the master? How quickly you rebound back every time. How quickly you forgive another person. No doubt, because of the previous conditionings, you may respond this way, that way. But how quickly you come back to the center? The pendulum is continuously going this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. But every time it goes from this side to that side to this side, it's always coming back to the center for a moment, isn't it? Life will throw us this way, that way, this way, that way. Whether we like it or not, it is going to happen. But can you come to the center? A master continuously lives in the center. For us who are not masters yet, how can we assess ourselves? How quickly we bounce back to the center. Is our misery for few months, few years, or is it for few days, or is it for few hours, or is it for few minutes? Or is it one moment it was there, next moment, okay, gone, over. And you're back to the center. How quickly we rebound back. That is the second. So, a person, in this world we see that everything is continuously changing and all that is given. And another thing is that when we are consciously performing spiritual practices or sadhana, there is a natural tendency in us to try to advise and influence others in what may seem to us an erroneous way of living. So a seeker, when he has started on this path of spiritual journey, he starts thinking that his way of thinking is the only correct way of thinking. And therefore he starts judging and assessing others. No, I think you are going the wrong way. I think you have to do this. I think you have to do that. Why he is saying that? Or why is she saying that? Because that person starts thinking he or she is better than others. And we are all guilty of it sometime or the other. Holier than thou attitude. This has to also be dropped. Because if not, if that person doesn't listen to us, then anger towards that person, then I don't want to do anything with that person, then backbiting about that person, then bad comments about that person. Why? Oh, that person did not even listen to me. Why should they listen? Every person is independent. The world is changing continuously. One day that person was listening to you, today that person is not listening to you. It's okay. You should not remain undisturbed. You remain in the equipoise. And this way, the sage, having thus shed attachment and prejudices well established in the non-dual self, continues to live in this world until all his past tendencies of the body or prarabdha are exhausted. See, there are three types of karmas: the sanchit karma, prarabdha karma, and the agami karma. Sanchit karma are the accumulated impressions in your subconscious mind. Out of those accumulated impressions, the deeds that you have done in your previous lives or whatever, this is how it is explained. Some of them have become the impetus for you to have this particular body. So those which have already been put into action, they are called prarabdha karma. And you will still do so many actions. And those which have not yet, what do you call? What is that?
Experienced.
Which have not been born yet, they are the agami karma. They haven't come yet. But when you do some action, some result will be there. So prarabdha, for a wise man, because of the way he is living, what is his way? Living in the center, continuously thinking about the self, equanimous to all likes and dislikes, praise and insult, hunger and thirst. So all his sanchit karma and agami karma, they are getting burnt away. How do they get burnt away? It's like suppose the scriptures, Upanishads tell that there is a rope lying here, the thick rope, and you burn it from one end. Once it gets burnt, that rope remains, the shape of the rope remains, but it is incapable of tying anything. This is called burning of all the karmas. And in a master, in a wise man, all the karmas get burnt away in this manner. They do not have any potency within them. They may be there, you will see that they are there, but they cannot bind you. And prarabdha karma, that which is expressing now, because he has this body, what this body has to go through, what diseases it has to go through, what experiences it has to go through, what pains and pleasure that it has to go through, it will go through. But he is not disturbed because of that. Wise man is not disturbed because of that. Yes, Swamiji has written beautiful 29 points about what are the insistences that he is free of, a wise man. See, even though he is living in this body, he speaks the language. Every wise man you come across, even Ramana Maharishi, Satya Sai Baba, Ammachi, they all speak, I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am tired.